What did David do to make Satan so mad that this terrestrial creature would go personally to him and challenge him to number Israel? And what it was, David, when he knocked out they wiped out the rest of the giants, and that's what made him so mad. And the interesting thing about that is you can even reverse an attack on Satan, because if you remember correctly, if I remember correctly, the story to reverse that attack was people being killed because of David's sin. That David built an altar and began to pray. So you can even reverse an attack of Satan. He is very powerful. We do underestimate the devil. But if you are spiritually minded, you can grow spiritually, you can overcome the devil. We give him a lot of credit that he doesn't need. Like, it's been a while since I've read the Moses story and about the frogs, but I know you had those the two magicians, and I was thinking about this the other day. They would mimic what Moses would do. See, Moses, had the frogs or whatever. And so there's two magicians like, hey, I can do that too. You got another million frogs. Really, how dumb can you be? So Satan has secrets he does not want you to know. Anyway, anybody got anything before we continue? Oh, so I did have it on my list? Oh, okay. I know she wants a bigger print. But yeah, all right. I didn't see that. But yeah, that's because when I was studying this out, I couldn't understand why he didn't have all of the stones. But those were, the Lord put limitations on him before he was even created. And this is known as the stones of fire. So, anybody else got anything?
I can't help but think verse 15 through 19. It's for sin began when he rebelled against God.
For the human race. That's kind of how I've always looked at it. Sort of the way I look at it, this is me thinking upon it, it sort of was always there because God was, he created, I guess the angels, the way we understand it, the angels were created first, before the humans. So there was always that element, I guess, of sin. But Lucifer, when it was found in him, that sin, he brought it down to earth, to the humans.
I've been asked many times before the sin began, and it's probably the closest thing in the Bible to it is.
Yeah. Yeah, God created sin, I guess, to have balance. But yeah, for the human race, Lucifer, it's found in him, and he come down, and he just spread it, and it's still spreads today. But yeah, that's like I say, this is about the closest you can find to the beginning of sin for the human race. Because God warned, in the garden, he was warning the human race about sin. If you be messing with this fruit, your eyes are going to be open. You're going to have this understanding. He gave them that option, but they ate went and where they shouldn't have been, and their eyes was opened into this knowledge of good and evil, I guess you could say. Anybody got anything else? A good question, by the way, brother. Because actually, that's very important that we do understand sort of the origin of sin with the human race. And it's like I said, this is really the best place to look at the creation of Lucifer. What was he like? And how does, his nature affect the human race? Because, God, which God understood what was to happen even in the beginning. But, there was that option where, Adam and Eve could have stayed away from this. They could have been ignorant to the whole aspect, There was a period of blindness. Anybody got anything else? Here's something interesting too. I wouldn't want to mention this, but it's on my mind. Because God, even in the beginning, before everything, He understood the future. God, He already knew everything that was going to go down. Now, as you know, I'm real big into astronomy, and I look at a lot of star charts. I get Astronomy Magazine and everything. So it's really simple and easy to understand. But I was looking at some star charts and constellations and things. Now, I'm not getting apocalyptic on you, but over in Revelation chapter 12, it talks about Hydra, or it talks about dragging a third part of the stars out of heaven. And what that is, if you look at the constellation, there is this dragon. It's called Hydra. And its tail goes through, if you look at the map, its tail actually goes through a third of the stars in the sky. An interesting thing is, about that, the constellation, the stars Leo, is sits above Hydra, this dragon. And what's interesting about that is, on Leo, this lion, this star constellation, his paw is actually on the head of the dragon. And the last time this constellation was seen was when Jesus was on the cross. And with that, it takes me back, I think about the verse where, so I'm saying this right off memory, as his heel will bruise his head. So even in the beginning of all this, the Lord understood our end, everything because of this constellation, with Leo, his paw over the dragon, the serpent. And that supports that, because over Revelation 12 it talks about Lucifer, or Satan, Michael actually has to forcibly remove him from the second heaven, which is the home of the stars, moon, and sun. That's where he is ruling right now. Lucifer, he is presently there at 7 abodes. I won't go into all the 7 abodes, but I should, if you look on the end of your list, the 7 abodes of Satan, I actually sat down one night and I followed Satan through the Bible, and this is what I got. His present location right now is in the second heaven. That's where he is ruling at right now. Presently, this terrestrial creature is right there in this second heaven. And again, there's 7 abodes of Satan. Anyway, because he can only rule at one place at one time. He can only be at one place at one time. Interesting thing is anybody in here familiar with the Prince of Persia? For the longest time, I actually thought Prince of Persia